that you've been dealt? How do you best play them? 100 years ago, our forefathers faced the issue of soggy, waterlogged fields, and the solution that they came up with to make it more productive was a series of contiguous ditching that became colloquially known as the Lamparek ditch. As always the case, when you mess with Mother Nature, sometimes you solve the one problem and you create 3, 4, or 5 in the process. The big 3 that we were faced with when we formed TID 5 was erosion, turbidity, and excess nutrients going into the ditch. So FOXCONN, for their part, has come up with an engineered solution dealing with the headwaters of the Lamparek ditch. And the water that's coming underneath Highway H is more pure than it ever was when it was serving as farm fields. And so it's our obligation to pick up the deck of cards and to play the hand that was dealt to us. And it's our responsibility to maintain the purity of the water that's coming to us further downstream. And that's why the partnership of Racine County, the village of Mount Pleasant, and Root-Pike Wind is so special.
This project is an example of making it better for our community, leveraging resources, leveraging partnerships, and turning it over to our community saying, look, your local government, your local nonprofits, and your state are in this together to make our community better. This is one example of many. Just so proud of what we're able to do when we're working together. Our partnership in terms of the county and Mount Pleasant, you know, every day I'm grateful for that, and this is just another example of really something positive coming out of that. A lot of hard work has gone into this. It's finally come to fruition, and just really grateful again that our community can see the fruits of our labor.
The department is charged with helping reach the state's goals of fishable, swimmable. And this is an example through our non-point source program, how we, through partnerships and collectively working together, can achieve that goal. We were faced with a couple years ago a challenge of having some additional resources that made available, and working closely with Root-Pike Wind, the county, Mount Pleasant, we were able to put together pretty quickly, I think, a project that will serve as a good initiating point, a good starting point to build upon. And really, the fruits of our labors sometimes are seen visible in front of us like this, but they're seen for generations well past any of us here.
This is a perfect example, a wonderful example of dollars well spent. The effects down the road on those people who are most affected by this in the urban areas, downstream, are immense. It's almost immeasurable, the value received for the dollars spent. And I would have never thought that we could have had such a prolific project. What, 3 years ago we started working on this, Dave? I think 4 years ago we started working on this. And it's because of that partnership with Root-Pike Wind and the DNR. Thank you guys very much. Racine County, and just everybody on the side, Mount Pleasant especially. Dave, where did you go? Dave DeGroot, thank you guys very much, and Claude, for your commitment from the very beginning. You know, one thing that they said was, we're in. They didn't ask any questions, it was, we are in. A few weeks ago, we had a contingent of my colleagues and leadership from national conservation districts come to our county and tour some of the projects that we've been doing. And this is exactly the type of thing that they're looking at. It's getting national recognition, so you guys can all be proud of the fact that you are providing leadership not only locally and statewide, but nationally for projects that affect the well-being and the health of our residents of Racine County.
But the village of Mount Pleasant has been very solid in their resolve to do restoration work on the Pike River, which the Lamparek ditch or creek flows into, and that is why this is such an important project. We've determined that this is one of the pollutant load problems that go into the Pike River. The Pike River was restored for 5.5 miles, and now we are looking at doing further work on the tributaries that can help keep the Pike River clean. That obviously plays all kinds of benefits for the people downstream, the ability to use the waters, the fish habitat, and the environmental corridor. So this is a great day to say that we can finally start to expand on what was a great effort by the village of Mount Pleasant to restore the Pike River.
It's hard to believe that the headwaters of the Pike River that ultimately flow into Lake Michigan start here at one of the biggest developments in North America. To have a public-private partnership that works like the one that we have with Mount Pleasant, Racine County, and the DNR is pretty darn special. What I appreciate most about these partners is that they're able to look beyond partisanship and politics and really look at water quality, because they know water quality is essential. And when we have great water quality, we have a great community. Where people want to work, where they want to live, where they want to play, where they want to invest in. This project brings all of that together and allows for public access in a clean water project. I also want to thank other partners that have inspired this project. Sunny Haven with the village of Mount Pleasant a long time ago set the example with the North Branch. His energy, his ability to champion such a visionary project has inspired this project and other projects that are going to happen in the area. I also want to thank Claude Loyce for his willingness to want to integrate this kind of project into this larger development. Claude's got a tough job, and this is just another one of the things that he's got to work with, and so we really appreciate his time and effort to make this happen. I'd also like to thank Monty Osterman, who has been a fantastic champion of our watersheds and trying to do more, bring partners together, and make good things happen. I also want to thank the DNR. DNR often gets a bad rap, and our experience has been that the DNR has been very, very enthusiastic and diligent about wanting to make these clean water projects happen. Staff often have to work with the red tape of state government, and that's understandable, but I want everybody to know how much I appreciate what Ben Benninghoff, Josiah, and all of the DNR members in our watershed do for this community and others. This is a visionary project. This sets an example. Decades from now, people will be using this as a bike path, as a place to fish, as a living river. We are transforming a drainage ditch into something pretty darn special. Good hydric soil there.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. 1, 2, 3.
Out of organic.